Hello and welcome to the first Bundesliga weekend of Schachclub Ötigheim. My name is Deimante Adulita Cornet and I'm happy to present the games of our team of Ötigheim of today. So let's see what happened. So the first result of our match today was the game of Sergei, who had black pieces, and let's see what happened in his game. So the opening is a very theoretical Sevintarash line. Yes, we see some exchanges. Bishop b4. Okay, the position seems to be solid. Both sides are playing logical moves, developing their pieces. Okay, b6. Sergei wants to put his bishop on b7. Okay. h3. It's understandable. Knight f6 attacking the e4 pawn, so white needs to do something. Queen comes to defense. And now Sergei, after a very long thought, actually, he decided just to ask the question for the queen. And the game finished in a 3-time repetition. So the first game ends in a draw for us with black pieces, and we consider it as a good result. I am joined by Sergei, who made a draw today and didn't suffer much with the black pieces. So Sergei, are you happy about the outcome of your game today?
Well, satisfying, yeah, because team competition has some specific and black pieces draw. I think it's okay.
Don't you feel sometimes frustrated when your opponent with white pieces is not putting too much pressure, is not playing for a win?
Sometimes happens, yes, but usually it's not about team competitions, but about open tournaments. Like this.
Yeah, your opponent was a decent one today.
Yes, was experienced grandmaster. Yes.
Yeah, so you consider draw as a good result in team competition?
No result, yeah.
Okay. Let's see the second game, which was played by Alexander on the first board of Ötigheim team. He played actually against a very strong opponent, one of the leading German players, Svein Erasmus, and let's check what happened in their game. So, as for the opening, it was the Italian, very classical choice by Alexander. Knight c3, okay, it's not the most popular because usually people go with c3. That was an interesting choice. Bishop b6. Knight d5 is one of the main ideas of knight c3, actually, to jump to the very nice d5 square. Some exchanges. Knight e7 to bring the knight to the king side. Forcing some exchanges. Okay, now white has double pawns, but they open f-file. So some more exchanges, and we have quite a solid position. Black wants to exchange the knights. Queen b3 after a very long thought of Alexander, threatening to take both pawns. And now let's see what happened. Some exchanges again. Check, check, and the game ends in a draw with a perpetual check. So it was a solid game and not a bad result for our team. So I have Alexander next to me who drew this game today with white pieces. Alexander is our first board and it was his first game for Ötigheim team. Alexander, what are your thoughts about your game?
Okay, I tried to be solid because I think in team competitions it's important. So I choose most solid opening what I had after e4, e5 is Italian with knight c3. And I think I don't know, I don't really know, but I think I had some kind of advantage, small advantage, but I couldn't really prevent this knight h4 idea what he was changing on knights. Maybe I should play instead c3 queen a1 to take care of his h4 square. And after c3 knight h4 I understood was just
yeah, you took quite a long time to play queen b3, I think.
King
It is-
b3 is really strange decision from my side, to be honest, because I could play. Okay, knight d2, I mean, computer maybe suggests, but knight d2 really was looking
A bit passive,
quite
yes,
strange.
yeah.
Yes, knight on d2, I was not sure what I'm any better at that time. Okay, but I could take on h4, rook f1, queen f1, queen h4, queen f2, queen e7, rook f1, and I was somehow thinking after rook f8, I still have pawn on a5, so even like pawn sending, I was not. I mean, of course it's draw, but
You're never sure, yes? Some
no,
little doubt.
it's I just didn't want to be on defensive side
Yes,
at all.
of course.
But Queen b3, it was over. Maybe I'm not sure what it was like good decision. Maybe he could play somehow this position after like knight f3, rook f3, rook f3, jf maybe.
Yes, he went for a
He went for repetition, but maybe he has some ideas.
Yeah.
So Queen b3 it was really strange from my side, but I was like confident with my position. So I thought, okay, it should be draw anyway.
And it was your first game today for Ötigheim team. Do you feel that when you start playing for a new club, you have some additional pressure during the first games?
Okay, I mean, for me, it's always additional pressure when I play for any club, and if even if not first time, but okay, it's always like pressure because it's more like when I play for myself, I can do anything I want, and for the team, it's of course psychological pressure, but okay, it's still a lot of rounds, and I don't think it's really like. I mean, it's okay. We won first round; it was really good. No, it would be like maybe pity to lost we fight, let's say. So we fight. I usually in team competitions want to be solid, if possible.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we continue with the following game of our match. It was Mathieu playing with the black pieces, and let's see together what happened in his game. So the Catalan, a very popular choice by white, and Mathieu plays some new fashionable line with c6, which brings to a complicated position. So both sides are developing their pieces. Okay, bishop e6 to put some pressure on the c4 pawn. b5. Okay, the position looks extremely complicated already. White took some space, black also by pushing b4. Some maneuvers, and okay, white opened the e file. Let's see if they will make use of it. Bishop d8, trying to improve the bishop, and e5. Okay, quite a logical move from black, trying to break the center. Pinning, bishop c7. Now we see why bishop d8 was a useful move. Rook takes, and actually in this position Mathieu offered a draw, which was accepted. The position looks extremely complicated, but I think with mutual chances and not so easy to play with both sides, so they both agreed for a draw. Now we have Mathieu with us, who made a draw today with black pieces. So Mathieu, are you happy about your game?
Yeah, more or less. With black, so I try to be solid, and at some point I like my position, but chess is complicated. Huh? So finally we made draw in 21 moves, but it was interesting.
Yeah. Did you take pleasure playing your game today?
Yeah, sure. And we can last for more than 1 hour after the game, so it was even more interesting.
So why did you want to continue your game?
Yeah, I thought for more than 20 minutes, and I couldn't make it work. And I saw many ideas, he didn't see half, but nothing was clearly working. So at the end I thought, okay, I think it's just equal, and I lost my 20 minutes advantage, and I have no idea what was my next move. So I play a move and I thought,
do you feel that when we play for a team, there's more pressure and we don't want to take too much risk?
Exactly. I think in some open I would have played like one move faster and then play on. But I saw the match and I thought we were better in the match. So I said, okay, draw is okay with black.
Yeah, this is the case. Sometimes other games influence our decisions. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
So after 3 games, the result is equal, 1.5 to 1.5, and let's see what happened in the fourth finished game of our match. It was the game of Christian, who had white pieces. So let's see the opening. It was the London system, quite a popular choice nowadays. Black chose some very solid setup. C5. I think takes C5 is quite a rare move, so let's see what Christian had in mind. Okay, he's playing solid developing moves before taking some space on the queen side. Okay, B5 looks quite aggressive. Knight B8. Okay, black needs to find better squares for their pieces, and E5 looks quite logical actually to fight for the center. E4 now, but it gives the D4 square. So some exchanges, some more exchanges, now double pawns but they open a file, and knight c2, rook d1, and it is the end of the game. There was a draw proposition which was accepted, so the result remains equal now 2-2. So we have Christian with us, who made a draw with white pieces today. And my first question to you, Christian, is how do you feel about your very difficult travel to get to Germany?
Well, I am a bit tired, but it was okay during the game, although I had to drive 800 kilometers yesterday and take an early flight. But the game was not so complicated, so it was fine.
Did you have a feeling that you missed something in your game?
Well, something little, because I had the feeling that I stood slightly better, but not, well, the advantage was not so big anyway. So maybe with more accurate moves I could have posed more problems.
But your draw is a satisfactory result for you today?
Yeah, I think so, yeah, because the match was balanced anyway, and we have about the same level, and I lost to him twice a long time ago.
And you slept 4 hours?
Yes.
So it was a good day.
And he played very solidly also, yeah.
Okay, thank you. So let's see what happened in the next game where Timothée had black pieces. The French defense, knight c3, which is a very theoretical line with a lot of complications. I believe this is a well-known theory for both players. Queen takes b2, black wins a pawn, but of course they need to be careful because white gets some compensation here. So some exchanges, and white takes back the pawn, but now black has 2 bishops. The problem is that black cannot castle so far because the bishop is hanging, so some pressure on the c file and exchanges of the queens, which is quite a good thing, I think, when your king is in the center. Some more exchanges, but we still have a problem with our king, so let's see how Timothée deals with that. Okay, some exchanges, now our bishop has more squares. And bishop c2 is the last move of the game, offering a draw, and the result remains equal in our match. So we have Timothée with us, who finished his game in a draw today. I have a feeling that it was a very theoretical battle today. Is it true?
Yes, quite so, yes. So I expected a big battle, but I was quite early. I was relieved to see that obviously he didn't know the line very well because he didn't play the most critical line.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, the situation was quite okay. Then I was a little bit disappointed because I thought I could do something with a bishop pair, but I didn't find much to do with it, some concrete problems. So, it was a little bit sad to exchange one of the bishop, but okay, position was reasonable.
Yeah, probably the main problem was your king in the center. Yeah, you couldn't
Yes.
really put it into safety. So it was
Yes. My plan was to force the castle, but there were always he could always prevent it, so I had no choice to exchange.
Okay. And it is your first season with the Ötigheim team. What are your feelings? What are your expectations?
I'm delighted to be part of the team for this season, and I simply hope to put up good results and to help the team to collect as many points as possible.
Okay, great. Good luck and thank you.
Thank you.
So the next game I want to share with you was played by Kirill with white pieces, and let's see what happened. So the opening part, then Soviet defense with queen c2. Okay, we will not go into theoretical details, so let's just check firstly what happened in the opening. Okay, I like white's position because they have more space and more active pieces. Okay, now black gives a bishop, doubles the pawns, f4 to protect. Okay, the position is quite pleasant for white, I would say, with two bishops and a space advantage. And now Kirill wins a pawn, so looks really nice. Okay, now he loses back the pawn. Let's see what happened next. Very complicated position. Oh, and now there is rook take d6 and the rook on c4 is hanging, so looks like he's winning a piece. Is it that easy to convert into a point? Because actually our king is very weak. Okay, now he's running to the queen side. Coming back with the queen to defend. And trying to exchange the rooks because the king might be in danger otherwise. Okay, we still have a piece up. The king looks now quite safe, so we just need to improve slowly. Okay, some exchanges, and now the endgame where we need to stop black's pawns, and then it should be over. So f4 is a very good move, preventing e5 and g5. Activating the king is very important in the endgames, and then creating a passed pawn. Okay, black can still try, but here black resigns because the h2 pawn is stopped and they cannot stop the a pawn. So our first win in the match, and now we are leading by 1 point, and let's hope it will continue like this. Now we have Kirill with us, who played a very nice game today and won. So congratulations, Kirill. And do you feel that your game today was very smooth and easy, or there were some complications somewhere?
Thank you very much. I prepare, I think, nice before the game. I saw that my opponent play one bad line against queen c2 in Nimzo Indian. And I decided to try. It was good because I don't play this variation a long time, and he was surprised. Against 4 move queen c2, usually he play knight c6, but he decided to try another line. And I think in one moment he played bad move in the opening, knight e8, and then I had very big advantage in space. Of course, I should play very carefully, but I think only one difficult moment was for me when I took his knight, and my king was in a little bit dangerous position on d1, but I calculated very well that he cannot use this, and after this he don't have compensation for the bishop, and I win easily in endgame.
Okay, so you felt that when you won the piece, the position was already winning, yes? He didn't.
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now we come to a very interesting and important game of the match, played by Tigran with the black pieces. So, Tigran played Caro-Kann, Very interesting opening. 97. Okay, bishop d3 looks quite a rare move. Knight f6 also. And okay, white gave a pawn and hope to get some initiative for that. So let's see how Tigran defended this position. Okay, it looks very logical what he did actually to put the bishop on g7. Yes, and knight h6, we don't have much of a choice. We need to develop the knight. The position is not standard. Okay, white is activating all his pieces. Tigran is protecting the pawn. Now f6. Yeah, bishop looks a bit passive on g7 right now, but let's see what Tigran had in mind. Okay, some maneuvers. Extremely complicated position. Tigran has still a pawn up, but there is certainly some compensation. Oh, knight takes a5, sacrificing a piece. So let's see what happened here. Black king looks in some danger, actually. And despite a piece up, it looks very unpleasant to defend this position. Black has an enormous attack. Sorry, white. And now, yeah, it looks very bad. So Tigran resigned in this position because there is no more defense. Knight e6 is coming, and white is just crushing back. So unfortunately, we lost this game, and now the result becomes equal again. So all will depend on our last game played by Pierre. Let's see what it will bring to us. So our next guest is Tigran, who played a very interesting and complicated game today, and which unfortunately didn't finish well for him. So what are your feelings about today's game? What went wrong?
I think I tried to play for a win as black. So in team event, it's always risky for a team, but I thought I should at least try to complicate the game. So my opponent sacrificed the pawn in the opening game. I bravely captured it, and then I suffered for a long time. But I think I defended well, and my position was already preferable. And I think I made a very dangerous decision when I forced him to go in this complicated lines when he sacrifices a piece, and unfortunately I didn't defend well in that position. So.
Did you expect the piece sacrifice, or it came as a surprise to you?
I briefly looked at that. I thought I had enough resources to defend my position. But yeah, when he sacrificed, I started to calculate a little bit deeper, and then I realized that it was much more dangerous than I thought. So yeah, now with this information, of course, I should not have entered in this complicated line. So.
Yeah, probably in practice it was really difficult to defend.
I was still pawn up, so I was definitely playing for winning that position. So
okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And the final game of today, played by Pierre with white pieces. Let's see what happened. So the Sicilian and Rouser, a very interesting opening for both sides. Okay, Pierre is taking on c6, which is not the main line, but it's very interesting. Okay, let's see what happened after. Black has two bishops and solid center, but white has somehow more space and more active pieces. Okay, the position looks more or less balanced. I mean, with mutual chances. Yeah, black has some weakness on h4. Maybe Pierre will try to do something. Okay, there is some move repetition, but finally black didn't want to make a draw and continued the game. Probably he saw that his teammates were not doing that well, so he wanted to try. And the game continues. So now, somehow I feel that black king is a bit weak, and let's see if Pierre will succeed to play some frees. Well, the position remains still difficult, of course, to break through. Some exchanges, but anyway, it's easier to play with white somehow. He's trying to enter on the h file, fixing the f7 pawn, and now playing on the dark squares. Yeah, this black king looks not comfortable, especially now. Some checks. And here Pierre played g6, very interesting move. His opponent took and resigned immediately because he realized that there is just a checkmate on the board. So let's see how it could have finished. I think white can give a check, and if black tries to escape, then we continue checking. And the thing is that the queen is coming to f8, and now we see that this g6 pawn is only bothering black, and there is a checkmate on the board, which didn't happen in the game but could have happened. And a fantastic game by Pierre, which allowed us to win the match 4.5 to 3.5. So a very great start for Ötigheim team. So next to me is the hero of our today's match, Pierre, who played a very long and difficult game and succeeded to convert his advantage into a full point. So congratulations, Pierre, a very important point. And what are your feelings today about the game? Did it go smoothly, or there were some moments when you missed something?
No, I mean, the opening, I mean, I got my preparation through, but then its position is complicated, and I don't think I played it well. It got very messy. He has a good central pawn structure, but my king is safe, and it was very complicated. At some point we started repeating, but I think the situation of the match was in our favor at the time, so he refused. And then we went after the time control. I mean, I think I'm pressing kind of. I still should be around equal, but I think I managed to play it well at the end and trick him.
Yeah,
The queen and rook. It's really about king safety. Like with my king on a1, if I change the rooks or the queens, I'm worse maybe already. So I have to play against the king. That's what I did.
Okay, probably in practice it was not so easy for him to
Yeah.
find the defensive moves.
Yeah, because my king is very safe. I think I'm not risking much.
Yeah, okay. So this is the first time our club is playing in the first division. Are you happy about it, or you prefer
Yeah, I'm looking forward to play strong players.
Yeah, you prefer to play strong players?
Yeah, I don't play a lot of strong players. Last time I played strong players was in top 16 French team, and it went horribly, so I'm trying to get better at this.
Yeah, okay, great. Thank you very much.
Yeah.